Ladies and gentlemen, we are live.
That's it. We are live, guys. Thanks for tuning in. This is the BKFC 15 post-fight show. I am joined by Mr. Tom Schoaf, Mr. Red Rims Assassin himself, Brian Maxwell. Gentlemen, thank you for hopping on with me.
Happy to be here. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
Hey, absolutely. Well, I guess real quick, knee-jerk reaction, and I guess we can all kind of, take turns or, there's no super duper format to this, but a knee-jerk reaction. What did you think of the card?
Go ahead, Brian.
I mean, I think it was a pretty good card. Not too many fights went to decision, and I mean, most fights were action packed. My favorite fight so far. I guess we'll wait till later on to get to that, but I liked what I saw, and I liked a couple of future opponents that I have in mind that I would like to fight, or one of those guys that they would match me up with. So, let's get it.
Okay, we'll get to that too. Tom, what do you think?
I know that this sport's supposed to be about like the action and the finishes and so on and so forth, but I'm really tired of watching 9 fights and 8 of them are finished in the first round. I would like to see just like, I don't want to say better matchmaking because I don't want to throw Nate Shook under the bus because Nate Shook is a fantastic matchmaker. I want to see tougher fighters. I want to see guys go out there and not get fucking punched once and quit. Like, stop signing your name on the fucking contract if you can't take a knuckle to the eye socket. But outside of that, the fights, I enjoyed the card. I'll say that. I thought that Felony looked fantastic. Well, let me rephrase that. I thought that Good John was incredibly underwhelming. And I thought because of that, Felony looked really good. But yeah, the card as a whole, I enjoyed it. I wasn't mad at it. I enjoyed the fights, but I would just like to see some longer fights. I think we had Cochran finished his fight in the 5th round.
Right.
But yeah, so we really only had 2 fights go to the 5th round and 1 fight go to decision. I'd like to see some longer fights. But other than that, I'm done bitching.
Rick Russo says, great card, not as impressed with the last 2 fights as I hope. I think that's probably a general consensus, and no knock to those guys in the last 4 fights. And I guess while we're talking about it, we can jump to, Charles Bennett versus Tyler Goodjohn. There was a lot of hype behind Tyler Goodjohn. He came from across the pond from over BKB, and he was just, the next big thing, this sensation, and there was a lot of hype behind him, and he had great movement. And maybe I don't know. I don't know. Maybe it was a weird night. I mean, he said he felt a little off. Self-admittedly, in the post-fight interview.
Yeah, he said he had like 16 months off or something like that.
Yeah. And on the other hand too, because I hate not giving credit where credit's due. I thought Felony looked okay.
Yeah, I mean, his cardio lasted. You could tell he wanted to quit, but his corner talked him out of it, and he made it through all 5 rounds. You and I had talked before this fight. I told you I hope Felony won. I really wanted him to go out there and have the upset. I'm a little. I guess that's not really an important story. I wanted Felony to go out there and get the win, and I just get the upset. There's nothing I love more than watching somebody as arrogant as Good John going out there and trying to show off and look however he was trying to look and left with his face a fucking mess. Like, yeah, you deserved every fucking ounce of that. So I hope he takes his next fight much more seriously. Let's put it that way.
I feel it. Yeah.
Go ahead, Brian.
I feel the same way. Hey, I feel the same way. Tyler, super hyped up. Hey, he's a good dude. I've been watching him fight for like 2 years now, and he's awesome. And that didn't, like he said, he was off tonight. He didn't seem like the guy that I've been watching on YouTube for the past 2 years. But also Charles, man, his cardio looked a whole lot better, and he looked like he wanted to quit a few times, but like he said, his corner talked him out of it, and he continued to fight because you know failing these last two fights, when he's broken that hand, he's right there ready to quit. But I'm super glad that he didn't quit, man. Like he looked better than I've seen him, and it was pretty. He fought pretty good, man. He's fought better than he has in the past, so that was a good point for me. I thought he was going to win the fight, honestly.
Yeah, I agree. I had him winning. I had the fight at bare minimum a draw. I had, obviously the knockdown in the first round, but I thought he won. I thought the second round was close, and I thought that he won 3, 4, and 5. So, but that's just me. I know that those shots looked powerful that Good John was throwing, but Bennett likes to lead and sway with shots. So they could have been glancing blows. They could not have been. I don't know. You don't really. I don't have the best vantage point sitting on my couch. But yeah, in my opinion, I had him win that fight.
I'm not even sure because matter of fact, as soon as the fight was over, I tweeted like I don't even know what the score. I really still don't, to be honest. I know they gave it to Good John, but I don't know, and I hope that doesn't. I'm not trying to like trash him, but at all because I like Tyler. I like Felony. It's tough, man. It was just a weird fight, and even the commentator.
Super weird.
It was a very strange fight for sure.
It was a strange fight, and even the commentators pointed that out, several times. It was awkward, and I think Good John probably thought he was going to roll over Felony. He didn't even know who he was.
Right.
He didn't even know who he was, so I guess he didn't have that respect for him like he probably should have, and it showed. Going in there hands down, like you said, Tom. Playing that Anderson Silva game of, trying to hit me, and if you're going to do that, you better be able to,
back it up
a little better than,
Right. Yeah, at least like don't look like you just got your ass beat.
Sounds about right.
Arnold Adams, flame up, Tom.
What's that?
Mr. Arnold Adams. He says, "Flame up, Tom."
I mean, he's too small for me, AJ. You know this. That boy just fought at 150. He don't want to come up to 155 and fight me. That's a bad move on his part. He probably wasn't in shape. He needs to go down to 145. But I'll tell you what. There's talks in the works of. I'm not gonna go there, but
do it.
55. If he wants to come to 55, that's a bad fight for him. I'm saying that right now. I will fight him at 155, and if he wants that fight, it's just a bad fight for him. I'm just gonna leave it at that. I'm not gonna talk any more shit than that. There's somebody else that I would much rather fight than him. And he is apparently running down to 145 as well. So we'll see what happens. Maybe I might have to chase these motherfuckers a little bit, but no, somebody's gonna get punched in the face real soon. Don't you worry, AJ.
Heard that, but in all reality, honestly, I think that knockdown in the first round is what won him that fight. To be quite honest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess that's fair. That's fair. I mean, he had great head movement. I mean, his movement was on point. He was. I give him that. It just wasn't. There just really wasn't much else. Again, I hate sounding like I'm trashing somebody because it's not my point, but I just don't know what else to talk about with that fight. It was so weird. I guess props to Good John for pulling it off. Props to Felony. I thought he looked good, and I guess that's really it. There's just not a whole lot to talk about that fight. It was weird.
Well, I think it was like a kind of a freak show fight. And I think that's the only way that we can really sum that up.
I agree.
I think we all kind of had the suspicion that Felony was just going to be a body for Good John, and Felony came to fight, and nobody expected it. So everybody was just kind of like, all right, so we're going to watch a fucking fight. And I don't think Good John expected it either. So yeah, I mean that's really the long and the short of that, man. It was just a weird fight.
Yeah, and plus both of those guys are entertainers, so they were doing their entertainment type shit and not fighting, but hey, to each his own, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, you're fighting though. Yeah, that's my stance on the situation. I hate to play devil's advocate because I love to go out and entertain, but I entertain by punching people in the fucking face. Like that's how I entertain. Like that's my job. That's what I signed the contract to do. So you can go out there and you can play to the crowd and so on and so forth during like the walk up in between rounds. That's all fine and dandy. But from the time that bell goes off till the time that bell goes off again, you should be focused on whipping someone's ass.
Facts.
Guys, too, if you're just joining in, please smash the like and share button. All the stuff to do.
Yeah, smash it. Smash it up.
I mean, literally smash it.
Hit that fucking reminder bell. So every time we post a video, it's like bing, 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 bing. Fucking watch this video.
And, hit that share button.
Hit it real good. Hit it real good.
Matter of fact, I'm about to use my second screen to share the fuck out this.
There you go. We're gonna have some of the fighters from the card. I'm kind of working stuff out now, so I'll have guys kind of joining in and out. We'll kind of get a few minutes with them, just to go over some of the stuff. So, hey, how about Shaq on commentary?
Right?
Hey, that was pretty dope.
I thought he did pretty good.
Yeah. I was pretty impressed by his wherewithal with the whole situation. I wasn't aware that he had trained down in Coconut Creek before, so I was happy to see him come in with some knowledge before he just jumped on the headset.
Yeah, like Shaq's YouTube videos of him training is quite hilarious.
I've actually never seen that. I might have to investigate that crime scene.
Lightly, right? I mean, it's not like I would use train very lightly. I'm just saying.
I think he almost has to. I don't think he has a choice, like it's like me rolling with like my nephew, like it's like if I'm not gentle, someone's getting broken. And Shaq's like
huge.
I'm pretty sure he's like 400 pounds. I don't care how tall you are. 400 pounds is 400 pounds.
Facts.
Fuck.
And so for the second time in a row, Adrian Miles, so Lewis Rumsey versus Adrian Miles, that was the second fight, the second prelim fight. His first fight was weird, ended in like a weird DQ kind of situation. This fight kind of weird too because it was like the end of the guy.
He got punched in his fucking face. Like that's what happened. He got punched in his fucking face, and he's like, "Oh no, I can't do this." Like, get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, like that first fight that he had, like in Biloxi last year when I went down there. Yeah, that was definitely a weird ending because when he hit the guy and dropped him, I guess he forgot which element he was in, and the guy was on the ground, so he hit him again, and that's where the disqualification came from.
Right. I'm trying to remember who the other guy's name was, and forgive me. Yeah.
Knucklepedia, bro.
Hey, I'm telling you, I need to use it more often, right? I need to use it. And then, of course, they announced Datwin versus Johnny Bedford. The fight fell through, and it went through a couple different iterations. It was, Johnny Bedford originally hurt his back. That was supposed to be at BKFC 14 last month in Miami. He hurt his back, something. Then they threw Reggie Barnett Jr. in, which I really loved that fight. No offense to Johnny, but Datwin versus Reggie Barnett Jr. And then Dat fell out because he was sick. And now they're remaking the original fight for February 5th on that big Super Bowl card, which is headlined my page. So it'll be interesting. I kind of figured that's probably the route they were going. I think it looks a little weird on Dat's end. I'm not saying nothing. I think it looks weird. I would love to see him and kind of maybe come out and talk about it.
Freeze! How can you say you think it's weird, but you're not gonna say nothing? What the fuck is that supposed to be?
All right.
Hey, there's some creepy shit going on behind the scenes, but I'm not gonna say nothing.
I'm trying to be PC, okay? I'm trying to be PC. But oh no,
then
you're right.
You shouldn't have fucking said nothing. We
You're
are
right.
live, son. We
You're
are
right.
live. Combat
right.
Insider, spill it. You got the inside information? Spill it.
I don't have inside information. I think to be honest, I think they fucked Reggie by taking that fight away from him. He came in.
Yeah, Reggie deserves that fight for sure.
Reggie came in on what? He was ready to go. 10 days notice, 2 weeks notice, whatever the fuck it was. He was like, fuck yeah, let's do it. And then there's like almost virtually no explanation other than a Facebook post of, hey guys, I'm sick. I'm sorry. I couldn't do the fight. And if he was sick, I get it. I'm not, but fuck, man. Like, I don't know who to be more upset at the promotion for kind of fucking Reggie, or is that I don't know. Did that maybe sidestep it to guarantee that title fight with Bedford? I don't know. Was it the promotion giving that fight back, to the original fight because maybe they think it's a bigger fight? I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what the reason is, but I think at the end of the day, Reggie gets fucked out of this. Now, with that said, I still want to see the fight. Dat versus Bedford. It's going to be a good fucking fight. It's like, I'm not trashing the fight. It's just weird circumstances. I just think it was a weird you know what I mean? It was a weird circumstance. Go ahead.
I got a pretty.
Go ahead.
I have a peculiar take on this. I really want to see Reggie fight Johnny again. Like, I think that I think Reggie got caught unawares. I really do. I don't think he realized how big Johnny was going to be coming into that fight, and he's a different kind of monster now. That being said, I really want to see the fight with Datwin versus Johnny. Also, Reggie and Dat have beef. So the way I see it is Johnny's already fought Reggie, and we've seen how that's played out. Johnny and Dat are both fantastic, so that fight is awesome. And either way, we get to, no matter who wins, we get to see one of them fight Reggie, So that's kind of my stance on the situation. I can understand that, you can see how Reggie could be fucked out of it. I look at it as just another couple of months for Reggie to educate his hands further and go out and perform like we all know Reggie can perform. I think it's a good opportunity for Reggie. That's the side I'll try to take on that.
I guess
that sounds perfect.
That's the glass half full kind of, I guess, outlook on it. I mean, you're right. It gives him more time to, train and do what he needs to do. I was down there. I went down to his gym and I watched Reggie train a little bit because he's only like an hour and a half away from me. So, I went down and watched him train right before, when the fight was still on. And he just looked fucking sharp, man. He looked sharp. He looked ready.
He always does, man. Reggie always looks so good. I don't think I've ever seen, and I've been to a couple of, I've cornered a couple of cards, and I've been at a couple of cards, and I've obviously fought on a couple of cards, and I think I've seen every one of Reggie's fights, and I've never seen him not on point. He always comes in ready and sharp and prepared, and he always looks great. But I think that his biggest flaw, so to speak, in his career was that he just didn't understand how big Johnny was going to be coming into that fight. Guys coming in, I think everybody knows the different dynamic between weight classes in boxing and MMA. And, Johnny used to fight in the UFC. He's coming down from a much larger weight to make 135, and he does it easily. Reggie walks at like 135, if not lighter than that. I know multiple times he shows up underweight intentionally,
I don't know. Reggie's a little thicker than Reggie's pretty jacked. Like, he doesn't, I mean, he's a smaller guy, but Reggie's fucking jacked under there. I don't know. I mean, I don't think he cuts much, but I think Reggie probably walks around about 140.
I think he walks around about 145ish, honestly.
He might.
I will take defeat in that. And say he walks around at 145. That may be. I guarantee you, Johnny does not walk around at 145.
Oh no.
Like
No.
Johnny lives not too far from me, down in Texas, and I saw him at a show not too long ago, and he's every bit of 150, 160 pounds. He's a big boy, you know. Now I don't know what kind of shape he was in, but I don't see Reggie getting up to 150, 160 pounds anytime soon.
Talk about this, Mr. Zion over. He's over in VA2, right? He's on the total line.
Yeah.
We talked to him. Like a couple weeks ago, we talked to him.
Wait,
Yeah, Zion trains
Zion
with me
Tomlinson
sometimes.
Sr.
Okay.
Didn't he just lose?
No.
No, his dad fought on the card. Kane.
Wasn't
Kane?
that's senior?
Yeah, but Kane's his dad.
48-year-old guy.
Zion's his son. He's the younger one.
All right. All right. Either then that should say junior. Anyway, moving on.
Okay.
85 roster. I don't know shit about the 85 roster. You know anything about the 85 roster, Brian?
I don't know if I agree with that. I mean, Tiago, Joey Angelo, Kamon Evans, Uli. I mean, it's. I don't know if I'd call it weak, but that's from what I understand. That's going to be the next.
That's the next tournament.
That's the next tournament. That's a little inside baseball.
Yeah, and
Dakota Cocker. Well, Dakota wants to fight at I'm trying to keep up with the chat. I'm sorry. All right. Well, Dakota, he said he'd rather fight at 175. When I talked to him about a week ago, he said it feels real good at about 175, 185, and 195. He says it's too much. He feels good about 175. So, I mean, he'll probably if they offer him like to be in the title tournament, I'm sure they would. You know, they'll take it. But
anybody that gets offered into the tournament should take it. Like if that second I get offered to enter it, I'm definitely taking it because 185 is my home. Like I have yet to have a fight at 185.
I know that feeling.
Because what you've
Not
had
about 85 though.
205, 195, and 205.
Yeah, and 190.
Yeah, 190. Yeah. What's up with these weird catch weights, man? They had two catch weights
fighters
tonight.
don't want to cut weight.
They had two
100.
They had two 150 fights, and then Harris and Drew Lipton. That was supposed to be 175. Which I get it. Drew took that on like 8 days notice, 9 days notice, something. So they went ahead and bumped that up to 185. Okay. I get it.
I wish I would have got offered that fight because, you know, me and Drew Lipton, we've had some words back and forth, and
I remember.
I've asked to fight him at 185 since he got all that mouth, and you know, I've been told neither one of those guys would fight me at 185. And I'm like, God damn, what the fuck? I just want to fight.
Chris Sansom. Well, we talked about the Tyler fight earlier. I mean, I think let me try to sum up our general consensus. I don't want to rehash the whole conversation we had, but I don't know.
It was fucking weird.
It was weird, and maybe
specifically unimpressive.
Yeah. Now, is it fair to maybe judge him off of just one fight? Maybe not. You know, it was weird. I mean, I guess it's not his fault. You know, everybody's hyping him up. That's not necessarily his fault. Okay, but it was a weird fight. It is what it is. That's all I'm gonna say. It is what it is. I thought Tyler had great movement. I thought he underestimated Felony like a motherfucker. He underestimated him. I thought he was going to get clipped a couple times, to be honest. But yeah. Tim Floyd, that a bitch, not ready for Reggie.
It's hardcore. It's cold-blooded.
Cold-blooded for my taste.
All right.
I'm a
You're
I'm
gonna
a
have
gen-
to cold code.
I'm a gentle giant.
I lost volume. I'll be back.
All right. That's all right. Margaret, hey, what's going on? Rick Caruso. Yeah, I know there's like because there's like a whole family of them. That like a lot of them fight. Because I saw I was telling Zion this. I saw Zion fight for like Cowboy Fight Series a while back, one of his fights. So I know a lot of some of them done like the street beef stuff and MMA and stuff like that. Let's see. I can't keep up with this stuff. Okay, people missed weight. Yeah, for real. Guys, please.
Because nobody's fucking professional. See this? See this, guys? Gentlemen. Gentlemen of violence. All right? Professionalism at its finest right here. Nobody's professional anymore. Nobody comes to fight. Nobody. Blowing my fucking mind.
Guys, if you're enjoying the stream, and why wouldn't you, especially with that handsome fellow right over there, smash that like button, smash the share button. I see a lot of you are tuning in, so please
I'll be right back.
help us out.
There we go. I had to switch my
Good.
headphones up. My headphones died on me.
It's all good. Zion says top guys are ducking each other. They're fighting tomato cans.
Yeah. I mean, it is what it is. It's a part of the game if you really look at it. I mean, some of the top guys built their records, and then boom, they're handed somebody that they've been ducking, and it all goes out the window.
Now this is a good point. Margaret's talking about during the Tyler Vogel Dakota Cochran fight when Dakota got him when Tyler was like looking the other way because he thought it was the end of the round and his knee went down. I mean, I guess at the end of the day, it doesn't really matter because Dakota still won the fight. But should it have been a 10 count?
Hey, for real, honestly, that looked like a flash knockout kind of to me, but hey, to each his own, I guess. I mean, if it wasn't a knockout and they both kept going, it is what it is. They say you can't be saved by the bell, so hey.
Which fight are we talking about, gentlemen?
Vogel and Cochran.
Yeah, Margaret brought up the point. Do you remember when Dakota got a clean shot at on Tyler when Tyler was like looking the other way because he thought it was the end of the round and his knee went down? She's saying like should it have been counted as a, should they have given the 10 count?
I can see it debated either way. I mean, I think they both went down,
Yeah, it was weird, right? Because he went like flying almost through the ropes too.
Yeah, so like I can see it debated either way, but it obviously didn't have an effect on the fight, like on the decision of the fight or the end of the fight, I should say.
Hey, it was a crisp, clean shot though, for real.
It was a clean shot. I won't dispute that in any way, shape, or form. I just that's why, like I said, I could see it debated either way. But I think at this point it didn't have an outcome, a result on the outcome, an effect of the outcome. So,
all right,
it's null and void.
We got to pause this. I got to bring my man Quentin Henry.
Hello.
With the quick work on Jason Fan in 25 seconds, my man. What's up, brother?
Oh, not much. Somebody kind of sounds like an alien, but I'm here. I'm headed back to the room after the fight with my lady here.
Hello.
Hey,
congratulations.
Congratulations, man. So, when we talked, a couple weeks ago now, you talked about.
I can't understand anything you're saying at all. It's like an alien.
Test. Can you hear me? Test.
What's that?
Can you hear me? Test.
Maybe bounce me out and I'll get back in. Maybe. I don't know. Let me see here.
I was trying to do a little sign language. He'll come back. He'll come back. Rob Grabble, Tom Shoaf versus Good John. Wow.
You don't want that smoke.
Hmm.
I say it all the time. I'll fight anybody. There's somebody specifically that I really want to fight. If they want to
Call 'em
fucking
out.
throw Good John at me, I've called them out multiple times. I want to fight Jim Allers. I've said it many a time. I want to punch that dude right in his fucking mouth.
I'd like to see that fight. That'd be a good
I
fight.
think it would be a great fight. I don't think that dude can take a fucking shot, and I'd love to be the second person to prove it.
Let's try this again real quick. Can you hear me now, Quentin?
I can. What's up, guys?
Awesome,
Hey,
awesome, brother.
Shows, big fan, bro.
Oh, thanks, man. Congratulations.
Thank you, buddy.
You're welcome.
Yeah, congrats,
technical
man.
boxer, and I appreciate that in your style.
Hey, man, congrats to you, brother. And we just talked a couple weeks ago, and you talked about how good you felt and how strong you felt, and coming down to 205, and how that was more your natural weight class. Obviously, you look great tonight, right? I mean, in your words, man, like, how are you feeling the last couple of days, leading up to the fight, and how did it go how you expected it to go?
I expected the jab to drop him, to be honest with you. I didn't expect him to last past that. That punch that I hit him with is the hardest punch I throw, no doubt. And that shit landed solid. So, as soon as it hit, as good as it did, I knew the fight was over, because the fact that he was standing up didn't mean that he was still there. And so at that point, I hit him with that one. I'm like, oh, this is it. Just wait for it. So I was kind of sitting back. And when he rushed in, I caught him with like a check hook. And that was kind of when I felt him go limp. So, but yeah, man, I felt great getting ready for the fight. You still up here?
Yeah, I am.
Felt great. I mean, I had so much damn time to get ready for it, but that turned out to be a blessing in disguise, really, because I wouldn't have trained this hard if I didn't think that I had a fight coming up in 2 weeks, the entire year, so it kind of changes up that motivation for you. But I felt amazing. I wasn't nervous before the fight or anything like I used to be, or I usually am. This is just what I do now. So, this is the first time I've been able to train full time in my entire career. I've always worked 2 or 3 jobs at the same time, and and that's just showing. So, it was awesome. Loved it, man.
205 a permanent home for you, you think? There we go. Can you hear me?
Oh, he went away. He went out.
The hotel's cursed.
Yeah, that hotel internet sucks.
That's what
Now
hear me,
he's
Quentin?
like an alien.
Oh God.
Brother, you're cutting out.
Got to turn your mobile data on. Get off Wi-Fi.
Turn that mobile data back on, man. Turn that Wi-Fi off. Get off of that comfort in Wi-Fi, man.
Right, man.
Oh well.
He got that T-Mobile service.
I loved it. I tell you what, I was really impressed, man, because I knew he was just looking shredded, like leading up to the fight, just looking jacked, and wow, he went in there and did exactly what he said he was going to do. I loved it, man.
Yeah,
it was a good fight.
There's that old saying: the more you sweat in peacetime, the less you bleed in war. And he proved it. He had a year, as he said, to train for this fight roughly, and he was training his ass off, and it showed. He looked great physically before the fight, and he went out at the fight and performed phenomenally and didn't take any damage, and you couldn't ask for a better performance.
Facts. It was a good ass fight. Like, I wasn't expecting it to be that fast, but hey, it's a part of the game, and it's bare knuckle. Anything can happen at any point in time.
Definitely.
100%, man. Quentin has that one stop, one punch power, one hit power. So
Reed Cook says they need a new matchmaker. That's That's tough. But I will touch on this main event, Burns versus Schumacher. Um, I think that what Sorrow. I think he wanted to fight Burns. I think he called Burns out. I could be totally wrong. I could be making this up or misremembering or whatever. But for whatever reason, I feel like he went after Burns for in one shape, way, form, or another. And I got to be honest with you, he hurt him in the first round. He snuck a right hand in there, and Burns just fell into him and just kind of held on to him for the last 40 seconds of the round or so. And he really wasn't the same after that until like the third. I think it was the third when he finished him. But yeah, no, why you can make that fight now. You know, I think at this point in the game, we would all like to say who should be where or who could be where. But I think I think the game's still new enough to where you could have slightly unknown guys like Bobo go against a guy like Schumacher and win. You know, it could happen. And kind of separate the standings and differentiate things there. But I don't know. I'm not a matchmaker. I don't play the long game when it comes to other people's careers. So maybe he's got a fucking point. I don't know. I'm just rambling. You guys saw me smoking earlier. I'm done.
Go ahead.
Me, honestly, I honestly think that was a good fight for Chris Sorrow. He needed a test, and he got a test. And at some point in your career, like, I mean, when you're on your high horse, you're supposed to be on your high horse at all times, and you're supposed to feel good about yourself. But there becomes a time where you get tested, and sometimes when you get tested, it doesn't always end good. You feel what I'm saying? I mean, it was a good fight. The guy that Burns, Burns has a lot of experience, and that's what Chris needed to test himself against a experienced guy. That's what we all need, is someone that's got more experience to test us. You feel what I'm saying? And tonight just wasn't his night. He got caught with a mean strike, and it was just, like I said, it just wasn't his night. And back to the drawing board when he heals up and gets back to reality. You feel what I'm saying?
Right. Yep.
Well, let me throw this at you guys, and mind you, this is, I'm not a fucking fighter, so my point of view is totally, from the opposite side. But if I'm looking at this like Chris Sorrow, right, I think there's a fine line between testing him and then like feeding him to the wolves, right? Like I get it. I get that, everybody, you need to see these guys get tested. And, if he would have came out on top against a veteran like Josh Burns, he would have looked like $1 million. But I think there's got to be a fine line. Like, you got to kind of build guys up, because there's only two fights in, to BKFC. And I don't know. I would have personally, I would have liked to seen him fight a couple more times. I would like to see Chris fight at 205. I think his frame is maybe a little more suited for. I mean, he's a big guy, but I think his frame might be a little more suited for 205. I think he would be a fucking monster. I mean,
that was going to be my question. Was Burns is a big man.
Yep.
And
a very big man.
Sorrow is too. I won't dispute that. Like I'm trying to fight at 155 pounds. I'm not a big dude. These guys are big, but there was an obvious weight discrepancy. Obviously, they're fighting at heavyweight, but just at a heavyweight match, Chris looked like he was maybe 225, 230, and Burns looked like he was coming in at every ounce of 265. So
I think he weighed 268. Honestly, I think really? Burns weighed 268, and Chris weighed 245.
See, it's just.
But I could be wrong.
That's a lot. Like, I know everybody talks about how, like, at heavyweight, that much weight doesn't matter. I don't give a fuck what you're talking about. 30 pounds matters.
Of course it matters.
30 pounds matters. When somebody's trying to put their fist through your head, 30 pounds matters.
Yeah, you're right, Brian. Sorrow 245, Josh Burns 264.2. So yeah, close enough. Yeah.
I tell you, when I get done with fighting or in the midst of fighting, I'm gonna be a stats guy. I swear to God, I am.
Be a stats guy.
Hey man, come on over. Come on over,
Hey,
man.
hey, I'm with it, man. I'm down for commentating. I'm down for stats. Like I've always been a good stats guy, man. Like I think I kind of found that calling when I was a freshman in high school and started looking into the stats and shit. Like that was my shit.
Over to the dark side.
Hey, I'm always down to come to the dark side at any time.
Let's see. I'm catching up on your comments, guys. I'm sorry. I'm getting behind. Reed Cook says, I guess this is talking about you, Tom. Wouldn't be a good fight. You would smoke Jim Ellers. So Reed Cook, he thinks you would smoke Jim.
Oh, well, thanks, Reed. I appreciate that. I also think that. I agree.
Cheers from Brazil, Shofmaster. Whatever that means.
Yeah, fucking ain't right. Cheers, Brazil. Let's do this. Fiesta time.
Your jab. See, your jab is the hardest punch. Oh, he was talking about. I think he was talking about Quentin.
Yeah, he was talking about
probably.
Quentin.
I don't think that was what Quentin was talking about. I think Quentin was talking about the right hand that he hit him with. But I could be wrong. We talked about this whole misremembering thing.
Felt bad for Jason and looked so funny when he got KO'd. I mean, it was pretty rough. You guys are hilarious. Comfort in. Yeah, he got that comfort in Wi-Fi.
Yeah.
Jared Walker. Quentin's a fucking beast. Yes, he is. Quentin is a beast. Burns told me Sorrow was sending him all kinds of shit all week. I mean, Burns, when I interviewed Burns, he was definitely,
Pissed.
he was. Burns was just saying, look, the guy doesn't need to be a heavyweight and all that. He was talking a lot of shit. To be fair, Burns was talking a lot of shit, but he went in there, he backed it up. So I mean, now it is what it is.
Yeah. Sometimes you just gotta get punched in the face, and then people are like, "Oh, okay, I'll stop talking shit now."
Because he's fighting Joey next. Schumacher looked great. Yeah, and to talk more about that fight between Bobo and Sam, right? This was the Sam that I think everybody's been looking for since he got that 18-second knockout, on Eric Prindle. This is the fucking Sam Schumacher, because after that fight, Sam is just he fights at that range, and he likes to move around a lot, and he keeps at that jab range. He doesn't get on the inside, and it's not the prettiest. It's not the funnest to watch all the time. It's just not.
No, he's got a really peculiar style, and I think his best performance, honestly, was when he fought Chase Sherman. I think that was when he absolutely looked the best. But styles make fights, and you're only as good as your dance partner. He looked good tonight. He came out and he put the pressure on Bobo, and that's what's most important. Is your last performance. And he came out and he did what he needed to do tonight to secure the victory. I think that last knockdown was a little peculiar, but I think Bobo was hurt enough that minute wouldn't have done him any good, and it was smart to not let him sustain any more damage.
It was a good.
Sam looked good.
I thought it was a good stop. What did you think about that fight, Brian?
I mean, granted, it was short notice for both of them because both of their opponents dropped, I think.
Yeah.
I mean, Schumacher, he looked awesome. Like I've watched every one of his fights, and I've been at one of his fights, and he looked like extremely good tonight. I mean, Bobo, don't get me wrong, Bobo has mad heart, tough dude. Like I thought when Sam hit him 2 times, like way earlier in the round, that Bobo was done, but he tucked his chin and pushed forward, and he clipped Sam one good time, and I was like, oh shit, this is gonna be a good fight. And when he caught him with that shot that dropped him, I was like, this will be over soon. But if Bobo survives it, I think Bobo might pick up the win. But Sam applied the pressure, and he does what he does best and lands those big punches, and he
he went beast mode and got the dub.
One of the things that worried me was, leading up to the fight, and I love Bobo to death. I love Bobo and Sam, but Bobo was like, "Yeah, I think I'm gonna let Sam hit me a couple times so I can wake up." And I'm like, I don't know if that's the best.
That's not wise.
That's like against Sam.
Yeah, not at all.
You know what I mean? Like,
not just let people hit you.
well, he said his, I guess to be fair, let me give context to it. Is he says that like it kind of wakes him up. He likes to get hit a few times, and he said,
yeah, maybe if you got gloves on, sure. I won't dispute that at all. I've had my fair share of rocky moments where I've had to eat a few to be like, oh yeah, I'm in a fucking fight, and then actually start fighting. I've been there.
Yes,
but
I can attest to that.
This is a different thing. You can't just take a couple shots from a fucking heavyweight who knows how to throw a couple shots when he's not wearing any gloves. It's just not smart.
When the hell is Shannon Briggs going to fight? They made a big deal about signing him in April, and then radio silence. J-Dub?
Yeah, my glasses broke. J-Dub, that's a solid question, bro. I don't know. I don't handle contracts or fight schedules, but I think that you should bring that up with the gentleman upstairs.
The higher power. I'll be honest with you. You want to be honest with you? I don't think he'll never. He'll never fight bare knuckle. I just don't see it.
Yeah, I think.
I feel like he's a hype man. I feel like Briggs is a hype man, in my honest opinion.
Promotion. I think it was for promotion. And I'm not knocking it. But I don't think there was really ever. I mean, who's he gonna fight? To be honest, I mean, who's he gonna fight?
Shit. Tyson wants to fight. Can you imagine? Oh my God.
No, I cannot imagine.
Like that. Mike Tyson versus Shannon Briggs in bare knuckle. I'd pee. I'd like legitimately.
That never happened.
Oh, I don't think it'll ever happen. I don't think the stars could possibly align that well. But yeah, I'd pee a little bit.
Isn't that a fight that was supposed to happen when they were almost like in their primes in boxing? Or did that just fall? Never.
Ow! Stop it.
I don't know. I don't think like Shannon Briggs's prime was like a generation after Tyson's prime, though, wasn't it? Like Tyson was already out the door.
I mean, Tyson fought until like 2004.
Yeah.
He fought like sporadically, but pretty sure he fought until like 2004. Come on, stats guy, where you at, Brian?
Yeah, I need help with that. I don't know. I don't know a whole lot of big boxing stats.
Yeah, when it comes to boxing stats, you can go ahead and kick me out and throw me out the window on that.
My back is broken. It's spinal. That's the only thing I know.
Wasn't that after?
It's broken.
Who the fuck did he fight?
You say your back is broken? Yeah, it's spinal. Like
spinal.
It's spinal. All right. Let's see. Ricky Neal says you're smoking that good, Tom.
Oh yeah, that's the only thing I smoke.
Sergeant RL3. What happened with Felony? Well, Felony.
Weird.
It was a weird fight. Felony, I thought looked good. Again, just to make it short, because this is now like the 5th time we've talked about it. But that's all right. I think Good John underestimated Felony. Just to make it short. Some people are saying it should have went to Felony. I'll be honest with you. It could have went either way. And I'm not mad either way, to be honest. I would
have been cool with the draw. They would have
won the overtime if it was a draw.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense.
I don't think either of them ran away with the fight, so I don't know.
It was the fight was so close that they really had to go back and look at that knockdown in the first round to give Tyler the win.
That knockout really made the biggest
I think
difference.
I think that was the biggest deciding factor, even though it was a small deciding factor. Like the fight was so close, honestly, and in a wholeheartedly honest opinion, that knockdown is what gave Tyler the win. You feel what I'm saying? In my opinion.
J-Dub says, Good John beat him 4-1 or 3-2 with a knockdown. Yeah, I guess. Good John was mostly clowning around. He got caught a bunch of times. Yep, he was fucking around and got caught. Exactly. Jared Walker, 2 fights against tomato cans. I think he's talking about Sorrow. Yeah, okay. I'd like to see Quentin punch Sorrow in the face. That would be an interesting fight at 205. Quentin Henry and Chris Sorrow. That would be a good fight.
Yeah, at 205.
Supposed to happen, but the stars for that fight, so they got different opponents or something like that from through the grapevine. I can't really tell my source, but through the grapevine, I think that fight was actually supposed to happen before.
But sorry, it's a mill. Sorry, it's gonna be hard for Sarah to lose 40 pounds, man. I know he's like a big boy and he probably could lose it if he wanted to, but that's a big if, man. 245, buck.
He fought. His out of his 2 fights, one was 205, one was heavyweight. He's fought at 205.
Oh, well then disregard that previous statement because it was obviously of unintelligent stature.
Hey, Tom.
Steal my dog? What's up?
Knucklepedia.com.
Knucklepedia. Yeah, see, I don't have my so check it out. My laptop is right there. And that's not obviously in front of me, so I'm not gonna have access to the Knucklepedia at the moment. But you appear to be sitting at your computer, so thank you, sir, for informing me that he fought at 205, and we can go back to the previous conversation with Quentin and Sorrow, and yeah, that would be fun. I would enjoy that. I think most people would enjoy that. Yeah, let's do that. Somebody tell Nate and David that that's how that one's gonna play out.
I think
so. maybe after that fight he'll yeah, maybe.
Brian, the stats guy, Maxwell. Yes, sir.
I'm down with it.
For Eric Kowal.
Fucking Eric.
It's that big head Mr. Red Rims has. Oh man.
You know it.
When Big Dan, how about that? I know it wasn't like a belly to back, but I called it that on Twitter. I just thought it was funny. Like Dan gave Josh Burns like a suplex style.
Yeah, he threw his head. Yeah.
He's like,
hey, that shit was hilarious. That shit was hilarious. I died when that happened. Like I was like, oh shit, Big Dan's strong as fuck.
Yeah, he's a big dude. They don't call him big for like make it punny or nothing.
Oh. Yeah, like he pushed him out the way like he wasn't even there. Like he's like, move out of here, bitch.
Participation. I can't keep up with these comments. Just I appreciate it.
Good comments away, people.
No one can beat Palomino, plain and simple. I'm guessing is what that's supposed to say.
No one can't beat Palomino playing. You're right. The only person who can beat Palomino is Palomino, Paco. Also, Paco, you might also be right in what we think you're trying to say, and nobody can beat him. Maybe right now he seems to be like in his prime and reaching his stride, man. Like, no, I won't dispute that in any way, shape, or form. I will say that if he still holds the title after my record's no longer fucking upside down as shit, I would love to fight the guy one of these days. But that's another conversation for way long down the road.
Who do you guys pick, Schumacher or Joey? Brian, why don't you take that one?
I'm going with the homie Beltron because, you know, I've been a big fan of his for a long time. I fucks with Sam, don't get me wrong. Both great fighters, but, you know, I'm a big Beltron fan, and you know I've actually chilled with Joey at BKFC 2 for a few moments, and you know had a slight conversation, and I fucks with him. So you know I got to ride with the homie on that one.
Tom,
I concur. I think Joey is bound and determined to destroy everybody in his path until he gets his revenge at Arnold Adams. AJ's the
I
only
need to
guy to
see
beat
that
him.
fight again.
You know?
I need to see that
You
fight
know,
again.
and that's really the long and the short of it. I think that Joey's super motivated right now and super focused, and he loves being the champion. And I think Sam's gonna be hard pressed to take it from him. And I really think that Joey wants his redemption against AJ.
That was a cut, right? That fight
AJ did what AJ does, man, and he snapped a bunch of jabs out there, and I think it was the second or the third round, and that fight was over. Yeah. So in my opinion, my biased opinion, because I love AJ, I think Tony wants that fight with AJ. I mean Joey wants that fight with AJ.
I agree.
I'd love to see that fight again.
Yeah. Well, when is, if he's still here? I don't know if he's still here or not. Like, when is he going to fight again, man? I've been wanting to see AJ for a while.
He made a post on Facebook today saying that, Sam, Bobo, and then Josh and Sorrow, that he was watching the four of them because apparently he was supposed to fight one of them on his next fight. And then he's supposed to come back. Word through the grapevine is either January or February. I can't confirm any of this outside of the Facebook post. But as far as I know, he's hoping to come back January or February. That's what I want. I want him back ASAP. Yeah.
I'd like to see AJ versus Tony Lopez. Just throwing it out there.
It'd be interesting.
That would be real fucking interesting. They're both long. They're both strong. Yep. Yeah, that's something else.
Hey, if that fight ever happens, Nate Shook, David Feldman, I'd like my finder's fee for that fight. Just saying.
This guy, good whatever, got nothing for Luis Palomino. What a clown.
I agree. Yeah, if he tries to fight Palomino with the performance he put on tonight, that's going to be a very short night because Palomino's going to run him the fuck over. Paco, you're on a roll tonight, bro.
Look, we were just talking about AJ.
Yeah.
Mark, but I'm not even going to try to say your name, bro. Bajonger. I'm sorry if I'm fucking that up. I apologize.
That's I can dig it. I'm not even gonna try either though. I'm gonna
I ain't gonna try that either.
Bobo should not have taken that fight, especially for what they paid him. Interesting.
Oh God. Yikes.
That's a little inside.
How do you know, Reed? Reed should be on. Reed, come to Combat Insiders. Give us this financial download that you have. What's going on, bro?
Yikes.
I can vouch. He knows things. I can vouch for him.
All right.
He knows stuff. Who wants a mustache ride?
Everybody. Eric. I think Eric wants a mustache ride.
That Iranian Hulk guy, Tom, you'd fight him, wouldn't you? Iranian Hulk, you remember him?
It's like, no, that guy's so big. He's way too big. That's just dangerous. Like,
make it like a street fight. Just fight him like outside or something.
Do I get like weapons?
Yeah.
Right? You know what I'm saying? That's a big motherfucker,
like, can I shoot
man.
him? Is that allowed?
Yeah, but
can I like empty a clip in him and then fight him?
He's gonna gas out.
I'd be down for that, you know? Like
he's gonna gas out in like 10 seconds. He's gonna gas out in like 10 seconds.
I don't care.
Man, look.
Guaranteed.
I take shots. All right. Like, I'll try to slip, roll. I'll duck when I should have bobbed. It just won't work out.
Yeah, that dude's fucking huge. Like, I mean, I ain't scared of no man, beast or nothing, but that's just a big motherfucker, man. Especially if he's Hulk size.
On that dotted line.
Fuck that. Yeah, fuck that.
Briggs versus Gonzaga. No, Gonzaga would die.
Yeah, fact.
Gonzaga's a jiu-jitsu fighter. He's a jiu-jitsu player. Shannon Briggs is a fucking heavyweight champion of the goddamn world. Not smart.
I don't know. I don't know if it doesn't translate, man. I'm just saying.
I don't know. You never know what could happen with that fight, though. Honestly,
Okay.
but
Okay.
on paper,
I would love to speak on the translation part that Josh just brought up, because I remember distinctly saying that when we were talking about when Gonzaga fought Silva, that whole fight was going to be whether or not Silva was going to have the speed to keep Gonzaga back and keep him out of range of those hooks, and Gonzaga had to get inside and use those hooks, and we didn't think Silva had the speed to do it. Shannon has the speed to do it and the power.
facts.
And Gonzaga does not have the movement to get around it. Translation or not, he's not wearing gloves, and Shannon's going to break his face. I predict the future.
Have a stats guy. It's Brian Maxwell. It's Red Rims. We have a stats guy.
See.
Maybe you get Holyfield and Tyson in BKFC. I think that's Tyson's next fight. They were talking about him and Holyfield doing a number 3 and that Legends bullshit.
Oh God.
Yeah, that's
that fight, if you actually let those two fight, it'll be good, but this exhibition shit, that shit's gonna be horrible.
Well, you got to keep in mind that they're like
old as
they're
fuck.
almost senior citizens. You know, like they're, regardless of what science can do to the human body, and regardless of how fucking excellent a shape they are for being in their 50s, they're guys in their 50s. And you saw Tyson in that fight. Like, he looked like he wanted to be the old Tyson. He just couldn't be the old Tyson. You know,
Hey, man, I thought I was
Jones, you know, so like,
my man Kane over here. My man Kane, man, you need to hop on for a second, because that fucking fight was crazy when you guys were in the clinch and you guys were
was
just
good.
fucking punching each other.
Was that fight at 165? Crazy. Did I hear that right?
Yes.
Yeah, 165.
Yeah, it was at 165.
Interesting. All right.
Hey, but for real though, that the Tyson fight, like Mike Tyson, I seen it in his eyes when he got this moving his body like the old Mike, that he really wanted to knock Roy Jones out, but he had to hold back. Like I would have loved to see him knock Roy Jones out, but you know, he had to hold back because it was an exhibition.
Do you think he was holding back because it was an exhibition, or do you think he was holding back because he's just old?
I think he was holding back because it was an exhibition, because only for the simple fact that they said in the rules, if it turned into a fight, that they would stop it.
Oh, that's weak. I didn't know that. That's super lame. Then I disregard my previous statement and let them fight Holyfield.
But yeah, Mike, when he got the bobbing and weaving and hit Roy with that body, then he hit that head, body to the head, man. I was like, uh-oh, there comes the old Mike. But then he backed off, so I was like, oh yeah, he backed off. So you know that's when the rules kicked in for him, and he had to hold off on him. Because Roy was hurt when he did that, for real.
Yeah, I mean, I saw a couple. I fell asleep. I'm not gonna lie. I fell asleep during the fight, but I saw a couple of those body shots, and I was like,
I need to get this out. I need to get this out because it's
get it out.
My loins. It was a fucking work. It was a work. That fight was WWE style work. I mean, I'm sure they were really like tapping each other, but it wasn't anything more than that. It was pop, 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 pop. Maybe a couple. Exactly. I think there was a couple slips here and there, you know, just to make it look good, but it was a work. Come on.
Yes, exactly, because of the rules, man. Like, I'm telling you, when Mike Tyson got the bobbing and weaving and hit Roy with that body to head, like, he forgot that it was the old Mike again for a second. Then he remembered he had to hold off on that shit.
Yeah. Okay. He went back to like 95 for a second. He thought it was 1995 or.
You love me, white boy.
I remember that. Let's see.
Oh shit! I straight remember that. That shit was hilarious.
All right, can we talk about Jenny Savage beating the crap out of Sheena? I love the respect from them. I've got to go soon. I have to get up for work. Sorry, guys.
Margaret, you said that like 20 minutes ago. You lying ass. I I wouldn't say that
She must have
Ginny
been in
Savage
bed.
beat the shit out of Sheena. I would say that she definitely got the better of that fight, but Sheena was in that fight for a good bit. She ate some nasty shots. But we all know that that's what Sheena does. Sheena throws punches in bunches and she doesn't move her head much, you know? She ate some nasty shots and she definitely lost the fight. You can't dispute that in any way, shape, or form. But as far as getting the shit beat out of her, I wouldn't go that far. I'm gonna have to disagree with you, Margaret.
I mean, I wouldn't go that far either because hey, Sheena, she holds her own. You feel what I'm saying? She
does.
like you said, Tom.
She comes to fight,
throws.
man. She scraps.
She throws. Yeah, she
Hey,
throws
and
punches and
I was just gonna say, a matter of fact, because I messaged her, just checking on her, and she was, if it wasn't for that cut, she would have kept going. If it wasn't for that
sure
cut,
she would have.
she would have kept going.
She's a tough girl, you know. She's always down for a good scrap. So,
Crowder is a bum. All right, so Crowder is a bum.
all right, Rick Caruso.
Rick Caruso.
Okay. Yeah, I mean Crowder. I wasn't impressed by Crowder either. I don't think I've ever been impressed by Crowder.
Our girl Margaret's still saying she has to go.
All right, bye, Margaret. Have a good night.
Who do you think gets the W, Tyler or Jason Knight? Again, if it's the same Tyler Goodjohn that fought,
that showed up tonight.
Jason Knight.
There's not a lot.
All day long.
Anybody in the top 3 at 45 or 55 would take him out.
Bold statement. I like that.
Hey, nobody's calling you a liar. You're just still here.
My attention. That's not a bad thing.
All
right.
Block Margaret.
It's the mustache. It's the power of the mustache is what it is. That's what's keeping you.
All right. Now we know.
We can't say it's the red. We can't say it's the red Rams because I got the black ones on tonight.
If she got the money to train to a full time, she would be very good. You could tell she's fighting on the heart, which she has a ton of.
Yeah, I would agree with that for sure. She I hate that she doesn't have the time and money to be able to train full time. It is unfortunate because she does have a ton of heart. I really wish she would maybe just stick to being a cut woman. I've known Sheena for a long time, and you never want to see a friend just take damage for no reason, you know? I know that she loves it, but you got kids to worry about, girl.
Margaret, are you going to bed? Eric Kowal.
Not if we keep doing this. She's never going to bed.
Tom. Yeah, she's gonna be up late. She's gonna be straight late for work in the morning.
Yep.
Ask her why she was late.
No, guys, you don't understand. Coach Andy Pitt. How does he know all of this?
I'm telling you, he knows things. I told you, he knows things. He's very connected.
Yeah, Coach P's my man. That's Pops, man. Coach P's. I love that guy. Yeah. Maybe we can get him a fight in his weight division. Oh shit.
Well, we appreciate you, Margaret. Thanks for tuning in. We really do appreciate you.
Yeah, shout out
to
Margaret.
You are wonderful, Margaret. Have a blessed evening. Enjoy your sleepy time.
Enjoy the sleepy time. Smash that like button on your way out if you don't mind. Smash that share button.
Yes.
Smash it.
If you press it multiple times, do you get more likes?
Huh?
If you press it multiple times, do you get more likes?
Just one and done.
So all right. Okay.
Otherwise,
I'm not gonna talk shit. I'm not gonna talk shit. I don't have a podcast. I don't know.
otherwise, I would. Well, no, that would be cringy to like, smash your own shit. I hate that. I try not to like my own stuff. I
I mean,
it's kind of.
I get it. It's kind of like liking your own pictures on Facebook, you know?
Yeah, I don't know.
Like,
Yeah,
it's like a cat licking its own nuts. It's like, lucky you, motherfucker. You know, like.
Oh shit.
Moving on. Next subject.
Well,
We don't have any more commentary from the fucking comments. So, were there any other fights that were of interest this evening? Because I'll be honest with you, I didn't. Yes, Christine.
A lot of people. Come on, a lot of people like you, Christine. We love you, Christine. Everybody loves you, Christine. Who doesn't love you?
Yeah, fucking.
Who doesn't love Christine?
Hey, Christine, I fucks with you hard body though. Like
Christine,
that's the homie
Christine, while you're there, is that a black middle finger?
I think so. Christine,
That's aggressive.
We love you, Christine.
All right, well now I'm not gonna ask you a question, Christine. Fuck.
We love you, Christine. We love you. When you fighting again?
Who?
If she's still here.
Oh, Christine. Okay, yeah. Good question.
Are you trying to get on that February card or what? Because I know you're healing up.
Is she talking to you? Can you hear her?
She's talking.
Oh.
She's commenting.
She's in the comments.
All right. I thought you could like hear.
I know.
Her.
Yeah. No.
For whatever reason, I was really thrown off by
that. I hear her up here. I can
like telepathy or something. I'm confused.
May, June. Okay. That's what I was talking about. So we had Britain on the commentary during Sheena versus Jenny Savage.
You want to talk about a character? That girl's a fucking character.
Britain?
Yeah, she's fucking special.
Elaborate.
Hey, I'd like to see her and Savage fight. Honestly, I mean, I think that's who should fight Paige. Winner of that fights Paige. That's just my whole honest opinion.
Yeah, I think that Savage needs a little more refining before she jumps into that match. Probably shit. I don't know. I'm not gonna jump in the middle of that, Christine. That's not my argument. I'm gonna get back to what I was saying earlier and say that Jenny made her pro debut, I think, tonight. Like of all like combat sports stuff, you know. So if that's the case, I don't think she has any business.
No.
There against Britain that this early. I think she needs.
It was her bare knuckle debut. It wasn't her pro debut. She's had pro MMA fights.
Okay.
Because I saw her fight at M1 Global. She's had pro MMA fights. Just no bare knuckle.
All right, then here goes time misremembering again. Well, how many fights has she had? Because I'll be honest with you, this goes back to tonight's performance. She performs like that against Britain. Britain's gonna pick her apart.
8 fights, 8 or 9 fights, 7 or 8, something like that. 3, 4, 5, one of those numbers.
I think she has 7 pro MMA fights.
Yeah, 7, 8
in Tennessee.
Yeah,
but I could be wrong. But
Scott, I'm gonna send you money soon for that watch, bro.
Hey, Scott, those watches are fire.
That's a nice watch.
Yeah, those watches are
really
fire.
nice watch, Scott.
I'd like one for Christmas though, Scott. Holla at your boy.
My sweet metal. I agree, Christine. She is green, but she is tough. Yes, that's all I got. Stony Bologna. Moving on.
Scott, you ought to hop on for a second, man. Before we head out of here, you ought to hop on.
Yeah, Scott, jump on real quick. Holla at your
Yeah.
boy.
Tell us how lovely your evening was. Tell us about
Scott's
your
probably
photos.
making fun of Jeff Houston right about now.
Yeah, because Jeff doesn't know how to compete in the shoe war. I think we've established it.
The link. Listen, I just dropped the link to get into this chat, into the actual stream here. So fuck it. Whoever wants to hop on with us, fuck it. Just hop on.
Oh God, it's getting dangerous. We're gonna get sexy.
Come on,
Someone's nipples coming out.
I put the link in the chat. Just hop on. Somebody's gonna hop on. I feel it.
Okay, here we go. It's a good thing I'm. Anyway, so what's new and exciting with everybody? What are the fights that everybody wants to see? What about you, Josh? Are there fights that make your taint tingle?
Now are we talking about like?
Oh man.
Are we talking about like fights that are like kind of in the works? Or are we talking about like fantasy fights? Like if I could just
in general, you tell me.
No, I mean it sucks that Godbeer got sick. I really wanted to see him and Sam because I really want to see Godbeer and Beltron. That's what I really want to see that fight.
I think that's the real story, the lost story here.
I that fight I really want to see. I would love to see. I just want to fucking fight. Hey, I agree, man. I'd love to see you fucking fight too, Rick.
Rick Caruso versus Rusty Crowder. Boom.
Do it. Match made.
Yeah.
Sounds like that's the fight.
Send me that check. Send me that check, Nate.
Oh hell.
I know what else I don't want to see. I don't think Paige should fight Britain her first fight out. I think they need to be honest, I just need to throw somebody. I'm just being honest. They don't need to give her. Oh, here we go. This is it. There he is. Here he is.
Is that the man himself? The man, the myth, the legend?
There he is.
Beautiful son of a gun. Look at you.
Everybody.
Hello,
What's
sir.
up, Scott?
How you guys doing, man?
Scott, what was your we've talked about the whole night so far, so
yeah.
But let me ask you, what was your highlight of the night? What was your favorite moment out of tonight?
Well, I don't know about the favorite moment. My takeaway from the whole night was that the event was much better than what the card seemed to say ahead of time.
What?
Tell
me more.
Let me bring Kevin Smith on here too.
I want you to be more specific.
Kevin Smith,
Godbeer dropped off, so the
British party, man.
And then you didn't know about some of those events, some of those bouts, but they played out to be pretty exciting if you were there in person. Bobo had a super following. I was just amazed when he walked out, the number of people that were on their feet screaming for him. I was very surprised. And then I liked that Sam seemed to have changed his style. He actually boxed through punches. When Sam fought before from the sidelines, we're hollering, throw a fist, throw a shot, man, instead of just dancing. But he was throwing, and it was nice to see that. Now, maybe that's because of his opponent. I don't know. But it was nice to see him actually putting some combinations together and going after it instead of sitting back and just waiting for the one punch.
I agree.
That was one of the things that, like we were talking about, Sam had a lot to live up to ever since that 18-second knockout on Eric Prindle, right? So this performance is the performance that I think everybody has been wanting to see. Waiting for, since that, since he knocked out Eric Prindle in 18 seconds. So
there was nobody on the side, Josh, saying, throw the damn punch, stop screwing around. No, it was, even though it went only one round, it was exciting.
Yeah, he got it done tonight.
Definitely.
Hey, what's up, Kevin Smith?
What the hell you been, Kevin?
What's up,
Smith
boys?
Brothers Entertainment and shit.
Man, that mustache, I kissed So sexy.
Did you say you want to kiss my mustache? I don't know where you are, but all I heard was I want to kiss my mustache.
When's the last time you washed
I want you to kiss my mustache too.
Sexy mustache, man. Sexy.
I'm glad. I'm glad.
I took my boy in to get some stitches. We're getting his lip stitched up so he can be kissing all the girls. Take him out parties.
Okay.
How's he doing? How's Bobo? You know, I guess how's he feeling?
Bobo didn't get cut up. Bobo's he got a couple big shots, and so he's chilling at the hotel. He's all right. He's a little bit upset. His game plan didn't really go away, and I think I agree with you, Scott, that I saw tonight. Sam throwing like he hasn't thrown before. You know, combination. I think it took Bobo a little off his game. But no, I'm here at the ER with time. And he's get a couple stitches and get back to it.
Good.
Well, I wish him well. I hope he has a speedy recovery. How's Tyler feeling?
He can hear you right now. He's right here. He's doing fine. He's just going through Tinder right now, just trying to hook up some girls here in Biloxi.
Okay. All right. Well,
Speedy
hopefully
recovery,
they both heal up quickly.
It was nice. I tell you, it was nice seeing Tyler and Felony fight. I thought it was a good match for Tyler's first fight because you don't know how the two, I guess for lack of better terminology, the two leagues or the two promotions compare. You've got the England, you've got us, and you don't know. You just don't know. And I think that was a nice blend to see the two, to see how they compared with Tyler's success over there and now his success here. I think that was quite interesting to see that.
I agree, man. I think, and this is what, we were talking about, and God, I don't want to rehash it again, but I guess I'm going to have to.
Yeah.
It was a weird fight, right? Because I think on one hand, it almost kind of, there he is. What's up, brother?
What's happening? You all right?
We're good, man. Well, how are you feeling, man?
Yeah. That's the real question.
We've been waiting 139 years for the Brits to get here. And Tyler is an excellent representative. He was worth the 139-year wait.
Thank you very much.
You put on a show, my man.
It was an all right. It was sloppy. Do you know what I mean? It was very awkward. Like it was very, very good. But yeah, it was. I can obviously fight a lot better. But at the same time, look, I 16 months. I ain't had a trainer for the last however long. I've been living out of hotels for the last 5 weeks. I caught COVID 2 weeks ago. What the fuck does anyone want from me? Do you know what I mean? I got in there. I won. So
it's the best. It's the best shape we've seen Felony in since he looks like he prepped for the fight.
You know what? I think instead of perhaps criticising myself, I've got I've got to say he fought a good fight. He was awkward. He drew me in. He didn't want to get involved in a fight. He drew me in. He caught me some awkward shots. I was too proud and wanted to stand there and just take shots because I can, and got cut stupidly. But I just just got to learn from it and move on. Yeah, it's a fight. It's the fight game, isn't it? So
Tyler, let me ask you this, man, because the commentators were talking about it. As you were coming out the ring, that you didn't really know who Felony was, and did that kind of play into I don't know, like maybe like underestimated him. You didn't show him maybe like the respect thing, or did that?
Yeah, definitely. I said like with like I said to Kevin a minute ago, like if it was Jason Knight or a Palomino or something like that, I would have been a hell of a stricter. To be honest with you, if my trainer had been in my corner, he would have fucking kicked my ass. Do you know what I mean? He would, because I down. I was fucking about, and I can be too macho fine good. I like getting in a fight, but my trainer, he's had to give me an absolute bollocking a few times for that. So, it is what it is. Like I say, I got the win, and it's my first one in America. I come over here on my own, got the win, so I can't grumble too much. But there's obviously work. I've obviously got to work on things and that, and I will do. And I'm gonna smash everyone who gets in the ring with me. Trust me. If anyone thinks that I'm not, that's up to them. I'm a warrior. I've come over all the way from England on my own, and it's not phased me. I got in there and won, so it is what it is.
Tyler, first time that you fought without your mom and dad in the audience.
Yeah.
What was going through your mind when they weren't there? Could you block that out?
Yeah, like you know, without being disrespectful, like fighters fight, don't they? We'll fight wherever. Like the supporters and that didn't bother me. I think it did make a big difference my trainer not being there because he would have kicked my ass. But you know, like I say, you just got to play the cards you dealt with, isn't it? Got to come out here with fighters. Do you know what I mean? We're coming out here. I wanted to come out here and fight, and I did that, and I come out and won. So. You know, I'm getting booed at the end. You know, what do you want from me? I've literally left every hotels to sit.
Don't take that to heart. Yeah.
All right, Tyler, I got 2 questions. First question. I know in BKB they wrap your hands. You got gauze and stuff on your hands.
No, we don't. They did for my first fight, but the last 2 are just like BKFC, just round your wrist.
Okay, so this wasn't the first time you've had the actual bare knuckle experience before, so it wasn't like a shock to you or anything.
The patient back home for the last 2 bare knuckle fights just wrapped your wrist. So I had bare. Yeah.
Got
I was used. To be honest, nothing fazed me. I just got in there, bit of ring, fought since last September, and just a couple of things. My best before. Work on it, don't you, and get better. That's it.
Second question. This fight was at 150 pounds.
Yeah.
Which direction are you going? 45 or 55?
45 is my weight.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is there anybody specifically you want at 45?
Yeah, definitely. I want to fight Jason Knight. I think that's a great fight. And that's when you're going to see me at my best. A guy who, you know, a big name guy who I'm going to be like that little bit of fear. Well, I'm thinking, oh, actually, if I don't perform right, he's going to fucking beat me. Do you know what I mean? So I need a fight like that. I think I perhaps did underestimate Felony a little bit, and fair play to him. He fought a good fight.
I got another question for you, champ. Because we can't compare. We were not in England. We don't know the show. Of course, we've got COVID affecting our crowd here. That's why our crowd was small. But what is it? Now, you're the only person that's been through both shows. The lead up, you know, the fanfare, the whole thing. Can you contrast the show in England versus the event here in the United States, and give us an honest opinion about contrasting the two?
Yeah, it doesn't. The English show doesn't compare to what you guys are doing. Do you know what I mean? It's BKFC. I don't care what anyone says. Give it a year, 2 years. This sport's going to take over. The way that the production, everything is fantastic. It's levels and levels above what BKB back home.
Okay. Yeah.
Hell yeah.
I was just curious, is all, because we can't tell. We can't tell, you know.
Yeah.
Look, brother, we don't want to keep you, man. It looks like I know you're probably getting like worked on and stuff. So we definitely appreciate your time, my friend.
Yeah, no, I'm still waiting to get some stitches done, and then I can get out of here. And well, I'd say try and pull some beds, but I don't know. I don't know if I can with a face like this.
Thanks for the time, Tyler. Appreciate it.
Thanks for the time, buddy.
Yeah, thank you.
So attractive.
Yeah, for an old man.
There he is.
Hey, I'm going to attend to my boy. You guys have a fantastic night. Good seeing you, Brian. Scott, I'll see you later.
Yeah.
Tom, love you. And
love you, man. Enjoy your night. Be safe.
All right, Kev.
Appreciate you, sir.
Great job. everybody that's fighting bare knuckle and everyone that's involved appreciates all the hard work that you're doing to get the name out there, to get the fighters exposure, get the world following this great sport. So thank you, Josh. I appreciate the work you do.
God, man.
Okay, guys, have a great night.
Good night, bud.
See you guys.
There we go, man.
Yeah, that was awful nice. That was awful nice of Tyler to give us some time there, huh?
Yeah, it sure was. It sure was.
I mean,
It sure
I
was.
saw him up close. It's a, that was a, he didn't come out unscathed. So I'm sure he's got some ice and some stitches and things like that.
Oh yeah. Oh he deserved that ass whipping, and I think he knows that. He said that he came out sloppy and he unprepared. So he earned that ass whipping, and he'll learn from it. And like he said, I think that Jason Knight fight is what he wants because he needs something that's gonna like wake him up. Everybody talks about like John Jones and how he doesn't really have competition. Like nobody at 205 competes with him. So it's hard for him to like get up for a fight every day and actually train for it. I think that might be the perspective that Tyler took on this fight, and it backfired on him. So he'll probably learn his lesson and not do it again.
You got Felon who's 73 fights, and and when he comes in looking like he's trained, he can be dangerous. He gave Johnny a run.
Let's see. So Monica would love to see a rematch between Beck and Britton Hart. Of course, they fought, BKFC 2, right? They fought at 2. So
yeah, they were main event at BKFC 2.
Right.
I had the belt up on that. Yep.
That would be interesting, right? Because Britton has. She has grown as a boxer, and her technical prowess has, it's definitely improved. That would be that would be interesting.
Yeah, she's got Paige, right? In February.
Maybe.
I don't know. You would know more than me.
Either,
what's the inside scoop, man?
Well, she called her out the last fight, and that's what I've heard as the scuttlebutt is on in February. That's going on, but I don't know for sure. I'm almost the last one to know too, but that's what I heard through the rumor mill.
Was fighting Paige. If Britton was fighting Paige, it would have been on that promo tonight.
For February?
Yeah, I think they would have
I'm just saying.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, you're right. Oh, yeah,
you know what I mean? Like they're gonna hype that fight.
Yeah. You're right.
Now, with that said, I'm not saying that fight isn't happening. That's not what I'm saying. But
what do you think?
Who else would they really give her though? Let's be honest. Unless they're gonna get Beck back, which, in my opinion, I think that's later on down the road because Beck was, Beck's last loss in the UFC was against Paige.
Her contract. I do know Beck's contract was 18 months from her first UFC fight.
No say.
So you find out when she first fought, she's tied up for 18 months. Yeah.
Well, shit.
He was hoping Feldman would announce that tonight. So I talked to Feldman a few weeks ago before 14 and was asking him about this fight. Dave said that he had 2 or 3 girls that he was going to pull from. I don't know MMA or boxing, but they weren't current bare knuckle people already. Like I said, this was like 3 or 4 weeks ago. He said that he was, getting a few girls together and was sifting through them, and it was going to be one of them. Now, again, that was before. Now that was before the Britton Hart thing at BKFC. Yeah. That was before that. So,
we're all guessing. We don't know. Guessing.
Yeah.
Speaking about guessing, I got another thing for you to ponder. Maybe you've already talked about it, and I apologize if you have. He did announce Thailand in January 2nd, right? Do you think that's going to be Thailand fighters over there, or do you think we're going to ship fighters over? Because once you're there, I think you got to stay there a couple of weeks.
So you want to
really?
So I think it's going to be. How do I say this?
What's your guess?
Well, it's not a guess. I don't know if I can. So I'll say this. I heard that they were going to have there was going to be some involvement with the sport of Lethway, and it was going to be on BKTV. I don't know which company or what, but I did hear that it was going to be Dave. I can say it because Dave said it on the interview, so I'm free to say it. He talked about putting Lethway on BKTV. So I think what they probably did, instead of maybe going with the current Lethway organization, they just created bare knuckle shit. What's it called? What did he call it? Bare knuckle Kings. What did he call it? Jesus Christ.
Bare knuckle Kingdom.
Kingdom. I'm sorry. Thank you, Brian.
But to answer my question, you think it might be fighters over there though?
Yeah, it's not going to be.
We're not going to take,
because it's going to be Lethway
and ship them over there to fight.
It's not going to be bare knuckle fighting. It's going to be Lethway. That's what it's going to be.
I'm down for Lethway. I'd love to do that one day.
That's son of a bitch. Son of a bitch again. Cool. I figured it out. It's cool. I'm back, guys. It's fine. Don't worry. Nobody freak out.
Well, you look like you were standing up to take a pee.
No, I'm actually standing in my kitchen trying to charge my phone.
Now you look like you're taking a pee.
That way I can maintain contact with you beautiful sons of bees.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
Christine scared Beck off. Maybe.
Possibly.
Atta girl. Yeah. Yeah, I would
Yeah.
I would say that's a fair assumption.
She's tough.
What's up with Helen? Where's Helen been? Peralta.
Don't know.
Well, that's unfortunate.
Yeah. We'd love to have her.
Helen,
I would love clarification on that as well.
Like that.
Well,
I think Helen went back to Invicta.
I don't think she has a contract with them. It was just like a one-off thing. I don't think it's like.
Yeah, I'd like to get her back and give her another shot to reclaim her belt. Maybe another play it back. Her and Christine would be wonderful.
Nobody wants to see a lame fight just to give PVZ an easy win. Disrespectful to Paige, in my opinion. Hart always brings the heat. She's an exciting fighter. Well, I understand what you're saying, Monica, but here is the how about this? Here is the business side of it. You're not going to put Paige in there against somebody that's going to beat her, or there's a good chance of beating Paige, because you just paid Paige. She's got this $1 million contract. You're not going to fucking want her to go in and get. Oh yeah, she's got $1 million contract. I mean, that's in the news.
Four fucking fights.
Four fights.
$4 billion fucking dollars. Fuck.
You feel me? Can I get one of those?
Dude, can I get like half of that?
2 guaranteed title fights out of those 4 fights. I know that's in the contract. I know it also includes commentary. It includes like social media stuff. And all right, long story short, you're not going to fucking put her in there with somebody to get starched. You're not going to do it. That's
look, it's her first fight, bare knuckle.
Right.
It's her first fight. You didn't do that with Tyler, right? You didn't give him the number 1 guy, right? Even though it's not his first fight, but it's his first one in America with him against our USA fighters. So he has to get a feel for what it's like here. Like again, you couldn't compare the two. England versus he doesn't know the caliber of our fighters versus the caliber.
They should call that girl from Mexico. Who was the girl that fought Beck in Mexico?
Cecilia Ula Flores.
Yes. Yeah, call her.
Man, if she got heart. Oh,
or the one from there's no
quitting that girl, Tommy.
Yeah, or the one from Denver that I think Beck fought on the first card
in Wyoming.
Yes, but the girl was from Denver.
Yeah.
But yeah, the fight was in Wyoming. The girl was from Denver. But anyway, yeah, one of those two, like shit. Where have they been? What's going on with them? Let's give them some heat. Somebody give them a paycheck.
We're all involved here quite heavily. You two fighters more than Josh and I. But isn't it nice though that we're were discussing it and questioning it and things like that, because if we didn't give a damn rat's ass, we wouldn't have anything to talk about. So it's building, and people have got input, and like when I bring out my rankings, people are looking at them, and they're discussing them, and so there's a lot of interest. And then what happens tonight? I look over my shoulder, way above my shoulder, and there's Shaq. So I mean, what the hell? I had the opportunity to go over and give him a history lesson, and taught him a little bit about the Police Gazette and the Hall of Fame, and how old the Police Gazette sanctioning body is, and a little bit about Belfast, New York. And wasn't that great? Yeah, I mean, so it's building. And actually, he's the very first, at the fights you guys have been at, there's always been rumored that there's going to be a celebrity. I mean, a big name celebrity. He's the first one actually to really come. Of that caliber. And wasn't it nice? And he was very, very gracious with everyone, and they had him come over and do some commentary too.
That was pretty dope.
Did you see the picture that Joe Elmore posted of him and Shaq? Holy shit! Joe comes up literally up to his belly button.
Scott, I wanted to bring this up too.
Yeah.
So I noticed at the weigh-ins, they used the rankings when they introduced some of the people.
Well, son of a gun. The other night they were talking about using Box Rec, and I said, okay. I said, Box Rec. I said, I got a quick task for you. Go to Box Rec, look up Tommy Shelf's bare knuckle record, and tell me what it is. There's only one number there. I said, that sucks. That's not correct. They put all of his weights, all of his fights together. I said, listen, the Police Gazette, the Hall of Fame only goes to Knucklepedia, where they take the gosh damn time to take a fighter like Tommy Shelf and break it down and give you his fight in one weight class and his record in another weight class. Box Rec sucks. They
Garbage.
Yep. And
call him out. Let him know, Scott. Let him know.
That's right, baby. So I talked to John Lewis, Mississippi Commission, and Josh has maybe news for you, Josh. John Lewis, Mississippi, is going to start reporting to you directly for Knucklepedia for the results.
My man.
Hell yeah! Congrats.
That's what I'm talking about. Making moves, gentlemen.
Yeah, that only cost you a little bit of money, Josh. Just put me on instead of Houston one of these times. And,
I knew that was coming.
Yeah.
It's done.
Yeah. There we go, baby. In fact, see my
Just
name
like
there?
that.
See my name right there? It says fuck you.
I see your name.
Yeah.
I see it.
So isn't it nice, Tommy, to have a place where, they don't mesh it all together and give you one record. They give you, and that's how you can get ranked in various weight classes, because you have different records in different weight classes.
Yeah, I'm all for starting the fuck over. I'm cool with that.
Yeah.
By the way,
65 and 70 have not worked out. So 55, I'm in. Let's go. What's up?
And Josh, you and I got to get together at the end of this week. It's time for the next rankings.
That's what I was going to suggest.
I knew I could read your mind. There's not much there to read.
Because
Shazam.
Got him.
Don't get me started. And now I'm starting to come back from the fight night. Those stairs up and down are pretty steep for a 60-year-old man, I'm telling you.
But those shoes keep you well balanced. They give you extra energy.
They do. And I went conservative tonight to give Houston a break.
Oh, come on. I don't want to hear that bullshit.
What is he doing? Is he like downstairs drinking? What's he doing? What's Houston doing?
Yeah, I think he's knocking on the Salvation Army door looking for a new pair of threads and some new threads and new pair of shoes.
Most likely. It sounds like the most convenient.
Jeez.
Yeah. Don't get me started on red glasses.
He doesn't come prepared, Brian. He really doesn't. Like, it doesn't work out.
One pair, that's it. I mean, come on.
Oh,
It
man.
was a good night. It was a good night.
talk about Tyler Goodjohn being sent to the hospital by a guy 25-pound lighter and who hasn't fought in 1 in 5 years, 15 fights. We're going to pretend like
25 pounds lighter. You're fucking stoned, Brandon Lambert.
Damn.
And like
25 pounds lighter?
that's coming from a guy smoking weed. You're fucking stoned.
You know that
Oh, man.
that does bring up a point of a discussion, Josh, that you might want to chime in on. After the Chris Sarro versus Josh Burns fight, the commission came to me and asked me if I wanted to consider doing what the WBC, I think WBCA just came out with, and that was that the heavyweight division is make another division at 225.
Oh, Lord.
Because there's so much difference in weight between Josh and Chris, and I said I haven't even thought about that, but the 225 and up would be the heavyweights. So you wouldn't have somebody, I don't know, pick a weight, 265 versus 210.
I mean, that would be good for right in the middle, though, for real, honestly.
I mean, that's what UFC is, right? UFC is 225 plus.
No, they don't.
Right now we're 206 and up.
Yep.
Right. Well, except for toe the line. Toe the line, there is a 215-pound division.
Oh, we talked about that. That's right. But no, something for you and me to think about as we're looking at our rankings.
But it's just toe the line. It's not. It doesn't carry over to BKF. I've had this conversation. It's
yeah. But
so,
think about I don't know. Think about 50 years ago or so, and they decide, Joe, you know what? Do we go to 195? Do we go to 205? Well, now men are getting bigger. Do we? That conversation has to come up. Where do we consider going up again? Yeah,
I don't know, man.
I like the idea.
Yeah.
Personally.
Yeah, I mean, it's not a bad idea. I just think you just got to be careful because I think I know. Hey, fuck it, do it. Let's do it.
Well, we got to think about it because the problem here.
No, fuck it.
The problem here is that I'm not the matchmaker. I'm not the promoter. So I just follow what's handed out there. So whatever Dave and Nate put together, then I look at it to say, okay, yes, I'll put a belt up for that, or I won't put a belt up for that. So they would have to be on board with that too. But it's a consideration. Sure, it is. And again, isn't it nice we're talking about it? There's a lot of interest.
Speaking of big heavyweights too, let me tell you what, in Miami, Frank Mir, he was fucking big in Miami.
Yeah, Frank's a big guy.
Frank Mir's big.
I had never met him before, and I was talking to him, and I'm like, dude, like, how fucking big are you? Because like he stood up and like we took a picture, and he's goddamn he's got to be every bit of like 270.
So you want him to go against a 210 guy? Yeah. No. Maybe that comes down to the matchmaker just not doing that.
Yeah, I mean, but what about like if he's like ready for the heavyweight championship, or what about a situation like fucking what's his face that just fought Joey?
Yeah, he was actually light. Yep.
Yeah, he was like 190 pounds or something, 195 pounds.
Yep.
Also, another thing too, I think that I mean, it was like 20-pound difference between Sarro and Josh.
30.
30.
I don't recall, but there was enough for the commissioner to come over to me and ask me to consider it. So
consider it.
I mean, that would be dope, honestly. Like to add another weight class to mix it up and create a whole nother division and
think they said
have another pool of talent.
Did it? Yeah.
I think you should go every 10 pounds.
Well, that's what I am right now.
225.
That's why I'm right now, Tom. Every 10 pounds up to 205. But then do we go 215, 225?
No, just 205, 225, 265.
Something like that.
Facts.
Yeah.
That'd be perfect, honestly.
You have like 10 weight classes, you'll be good to go.
Your mind is clear there, Tommy.
Well, I've been clearing it recently.
Brian, doesn't it look like he's taking a leak there?
It does.
I assure you. Oh, what happened? We're back. There we go. There's a dog bowl. I don't want to.
We got to be careful because Josh knows with me on this whole conversation can go sideways very quickly.
Well, that's the whole point of having you on. We need entertainment. We're over here talking nonsense.
We need the comic relief, Scott. You're the comic relief.
I hear you.
Scott's the closer.
It was a good night of fights. Better than I had actually thought they were going to be. Because we're so used to having such stellar fights. I mean, just one on top of another, event after event after event. And with Godbeer coming out, we thought, well, that really hurt it. But you know what? It ended up being good. Being good. Bobo is a big man. Oh my God. And I had a chance to talk to him ahead of time. What a wonderful guy he is too.
Yeah. Bobo's a good guy. Bobo's a good guy.
And he was fighting a lot. His wife is very sick and posted about that. Yeah. And but he didn't want to go down. He got right back up as best as he could every time. And it's just that, as Kevin said, Sam just changed his style. And that's the first thing I did to him. I said, "Oh my God, you've changed your style." And he said, "I know, I've been working on it." I got a chance to talk a lot more in the ring to the boxers tonight than I ever have before. And I enjoyed that. And I think they enjoyed it too.
Oh yeah, it was still a good fight regardless.
You're good company.
Yeah. I like being up there. And I tell you, you know as well as I do, Tommy, there's absolutely zero money in it for me. In fact, it's all money going out the door because I pay for all that stuff. But it's just to honor you guys and get you your place in history. And there's absolutely nothing up there at all from my own pocket at all. And I enjoy
what makes you such a beautiful human being, Scott.
I enjoy doing it.
Yes, facts.
It's just the way I was always brought up. I was a teacher for 30 some odd years, and I helped a lot of students, especially a lot of at-risk students. And so it's just built into me to when I see a need or I see somebody being overlooked, to help out. When you see the trophy, the world champion trophy with all the names on it, you're going to see the very first one, believe it or not, is Hattie Stewart. Back in the 1800s, Fox talked about honoring women, but never did. And I said, as soon as I get my hands on the Police Gazette stuff, I'm going to change it and make sure the women are honored. And she is the very first world champion on that trophy. And Beck and Christine and Britton and all those ladies, I told them, I said, I'm going to make sure that you're honored and in your rightful place. And
that's awesome.
And you guys know, Tommy, you guys know the medals that you got. You open up that huge ledger that I got. Yeah, it's like 2 feet by 1.5 feet, locked up in the vaults. And there's your name and the number on your medallion for all your generations to see forever. So yeah, I enjoy it.
Yeah.
And I'm glad you enjoy it. And I do enjoy that 15 to 25 seconds I have up there, and I put my hands on your shoulders and say, "Fuck it, Tommy. Fuck it, Brian. You did it, man. You did it. Look at that." And we have a small little quick moment. In fact, tonight's moment, I'll tell you, was there's a lot of bad blood between Josh and Chris, an awful lot. And you might have seen that. I don't know if you saw it or not. And, even Josh would flip them off and all kinds of stuff. I'm not going to talk to you about my family and all that. And when I put that over his head and I slapped him on both shoulders, I said, listen, you've won this. Enjoy it. Make sure you turn this into a classy thing. And later on, after the event, he came up to me and he said, I appreciate you saying that. It made me calm down, made me take a new perspective on it. So I helped him there. And a fight is a fight. Hype is hype. Yes. Anybody says anything about a family, that's taboo. But you know what? After it's all over, it's over. And so I helped them there. And I felt good about helping them there. And what a shot he had in that fight too.
Yeah, the power of positivity always works.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Fucking right hand though.
Yeah.
Fucking Josh Burns murdered that poor bastard.
It was just,
Yeah, that was a mean right hand though, for real. But
and he just hit it
Godspeed to
right.
Chris Sorrow though.
He just hit it right. He just hit it right. That's the first time Chris has ever not won in the first round.
Yep.
Yeah. And I like.
Didn't Chris come out and
Chris
train with you,
I
Scott?
like Chris a lot. Chris came out for a weekend, and I showed him the ropes of the old school training, and I just showed him the paces and what he could take home and do if he wanted to, and he loved that experience. And you two boys want to come out and do that, and it really is something. Literally, you'll never experience anything like that. Me open up those doors and you walking in where Sullivan trained 130 years ago, and I give you his actual equipment to work with and run with. It's just, and you get to see the cell where he was chained down when he had too much to drink.
I want to do it, Scott. I want to do it.
I'm definitely down for that.
I want to do it.
Just, I tell you, there's nothing like it. I've had Leon Spinks there. I've had Baby Joe Macy there. Baby Joe Macy that I fought in Madison Square Garden. He said, "There's nothing like standing here with Sullivan stood," and he said, "I can smell him." And he said, "Look at that, my arm," and goosebumps ran.
Yeah, I remember when we had talked about me coming out in November, and you were like, "I don't think that's very smart. There's not heat in the barn."
No heat. But,
I was like, well, come on.
The big thing though, Tommy, is May. It looks like May, depending on COVID, BKFC is going to hold a Northeastern United States tryout in Belfast in the Rocky II ring, and that same weekend we're going to have our induction. Now,
I remember you telling me that, but for some reason I thought that was in July.
Yeah, well, we're trying to get it into May if we can. Yeah.
All right. Well, you let me know.
Angelo, what's up, Joey?
Angelo? Oh my God.
Yes, sir.
What's
up,
man?
The man I need to see in the ring right there is Joey.
I'm telling you, man, Joey, what is going on? When are they going to give you a fucking fight? That's what I want to know.
I was supposed to fight Joey Angelo a long time ago, and they were like, "Do you know who he is?" And I was like, and then I did some research, and I was like, "Oh, this guy's fucking huge. I'm not fighting fucking this guy. Are you out of control?"
Yeah. What a fighter Joey is.
And then they had me fight fucking Julian.
I'll tell you the only tip I can give all the fighters from what I've seen it. Now it's 15 of these events. And it's a simple little stupid thing, but I've seen it happen over and over again. If you come to the fights and show interest, even though when you're not fighting, you're in the promoter's mind.
Mm-hmm.
Facts.
Yeah. Now I
can honestly say that it's been proven.
1 or 2 ago there, I remember Tommy hollering at me about my shoes from up in the stands.
Yeah.
So I expect to see Tommy right away. But usually, if you can find a way of getting to these events and getting there and spending the day during the weigh-ins and during everything else, it seems like it's kind of like the squeaky wheel from what I'm gathering, from what I'm seeing anyway.
Yeah, it's a whole new environment in the combat sports world, and that's outside of the squared circle itself. Like we all know that bare knuckle fighting championship is the next stage in combat sports.
Facts.
But the community outside of it is really spectacular, and the people who run it and the people who are all involved in it. David and his whole team, Scott, Josh, like everybody that's really involved with it, they all want to see the best for the company and for everybody around them, even though there's like minuscule nonsense and bullshit involved through the whole thing. It's a really peculiar community that's wrapped up in this thing we've got going on right now.
And you two fighters would be the best, the only ones that know that, because you are the fighters who have fought in many different,
organization.
Organization. Well, cage fighting, MMA.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, we've done.
One that can compare the genre of them, and I think I talked to you about that before, Tommy. I think I said, hey, here we are. there's an after party, and you guys are all having beers together. Does that happen in other events, other
Fuck no, it
genres?
doesn't.
No,
Not
it
at
doesn't
all.
happen in other. We don't party together afterwards. You know?
No, usually not.
Yeah,
Usually not.
yeah,
But yeah, and that's the wild thing about it is maybe it's because the community is so small that fighters in general and people who promote fighting is such a small community, but the people who do bare knuckle is even smaller. And I think maybe that's where all of the camaraderie comes from, and that's why we all get together in the fighter lobby after the fights, and
yeah,
you've got 50 people rolling through the lobby just hanging out, having a good time, and it's because it's those 50 people. Like, that's the community right now. Like,
yeah.
this is so new,
Facts.
so fresh that that's all we have. It's not like there's a huge fanfare waiting for us. Like we only have it's like a family. It's like a tribe.
Mhm.
We're a very tight knit group right now, and we've essentially the majority of us have all been here from the beginning.
Yes, that's right.
Like,
You get some newcomers that come and go.
Yeah.
But you're right. And then, but you hit on something, Tommy, that I've wondered about, and us non-fighters have discussed, and you and Brian can chime in on this and give me your 2 cents. And that is, we are such a small community. Why would anyone want to leave this community of only, whatever, give it a number, 40, 50 fighters, 100 fighters, whatever it is, where you can rise to the top and be a known force and have success and fight for belts? Why would you ever want to leave that and go into a pool of the UFC where there's hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of fighters, and you can be put on the shelf and never make it to the top, never get the show? Can you comment on that? What are they thinking?
I've been saying it since the beginning because, like you said, MMA and boxing, it's oversaturated. Bare knuckle,
Is it that much more money? I mean, that's the only thing I can think of.
I like, you can be a bigger fish in a smaller pond because, like you said, there's less fish, right? So
Right.
like you can make your mark. You can, I don't know,
but more money or less money. You're okay. So if I give you more money, you're just going to buy a better car. I mean, you're just going to spend it anyway. I mean, so where is the? But I'm not even saying there is more money out there. If you go to a different contract, I'm just curious from a fighter's point of view, why someone would leave to go to a UFC where there is so much more competition.
Legacy.
Yeah, to get in the UFC and get the legacy there.
Yeah, like, I can tell you from firsthand perspective, I fought for Bellator, I fought for bare knuckle. My career started with MMA. I don't know if it'll finish in MMA, but I'm going back, But yeah, if the UFC called me and they said, "Hey, we want you for this fight," I would absolutely do it because that's something I can put on my resume. And as a fighter, at least an intelligent one, I know that I can't do this forever.
Right.
So as far as my legacy is concerned, I want that on my resume. I want to say I did that at least once. I made it to that level and competed at that level at least once.
So I
think that's why most people do
it. So fighters, and if I'm reading it right, fighters acknowledge and admit that bare knuckle fighting is going to be the next thing. But right now, the UFC is the thing because it's been around such a long time.
I think that is an absolutely accurate statement. Yeah. I think that is absolutely accurate.
So as you're getting older, your shot is going to be, chances are going to be less and less to take that shot. So that's where the fighter's mentality is. Okay, I understand.
Well, I can tell you from firsthand, my mentality is I'd rather be a bare knuckle world champ than fight for the UFC. I can tell you that right now. So if those two scenarios were placed in front of me and I had to choose, and the pathway was fight for the UFC or be a bare knuckle world champion, I'm going to go be a world champion. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about that. World champion is way better to have on your resume than anything else.
So there's a lot of different scenarios then. I see.
Exactly. But like for a situation like I'm in right now, where I don't have the best record regardless of performance. I go back to MMA. I have a good victory against a good opponent. I get a phone call and they say, "Hey, we want you to come up."
Yep.
I'll do that. If I don't have something contracted elsewhere, absolutely. It's something to add to the resume. It's part of being a fighter. That's your career.
Scenario was you're 8-1 in bare knuckle boxing in the same weight class, and it looks like you're going to get a title shot. Then it's like, well, no, I think I'll wait on the UFC.
Precisely. That's the smart choice. But let's be honest, bare knuckle is so new right now. Nobody's 8-1.
Facts.
And it would be nice to be at that level, and I would love to say that, I fought for him 4 times and I'm 4-0. Unfortunately, we all know that's not the case. But the moral of the story is the sport's still so new, like you were saying, that you can be a big fish in a small pond, and you can come out and you can be a Jim Allers or a Louis Palomino or a Jason Knight, and you can just explode on the scene and take over. You can do that. You can't really do that in the UFC right now because you've got hundreds of fighters that you have to weed through. You're absolutely right.
Yep. Well, I said it to you personally. I'll say it here on the air, though, Tommy. And that is, if I was to choose a United States team to fight in England or another team, bare knuckle, I don't care what your record does not. You would be my pick. I would pick you to be on that team. The record doesn't matter because you've shown what your skill level is inside that circled square, which is what I call it instead of the square.
Big facts.
That's a history.
Facts.
That's a history thing, though. So I've told you that personally, but I wanted to make sure that the fans knew that too.
Well, thank you very much. It's very kind of you to say. I certainly try my best. There's no doubt about that. But I just got to get better. It's the long and the short of it.
Yeah. Well, I'm getting a couple phone calls to go down and actually to do another interview. So down at go
do it. You're famous, guy. You're famous.
Do it.
You gotta appease the fans.
But man, that was a good night. Thanks for letting me on, Josh. I appreciate it. We'll get together and do some new rankings. And you owe me. I don't know why, but you owe me. See you there, guys.
All right, man. Have a good night. Be safe.
Right, yeah. Bye-bye.
Well, gentlemen, I'll tell you what. I think on that note, I think I told you guys originally like 30 minutes to an hour. We are now at the 2 hour and almost 8 minute mark.
Yeah, we're rocking and rolling.
Time flies when you're having a good time.
Hey, right.
You know what? I had a good time. I really did. I guess it's about that time. It's almost 2 a.m. Eastern. So, guys, you guys have tuned in and been super. That's not a word. Talkative. You've been super talkative.
Participatory.
You have participated quite a bit. So I like the comment. I couldn't even keep up with the damn comments. I mean, I would love. I'm actually going to go back and look at everything. It's insane. But I appreciate you. Please, again, Broken Record, like, share, subscribe. You know all that crap everybody
all that good shit.
All that good shit. It helps us out a ton. And special thank you to my pals, Mr. Brian Maxwell, Mr. Tom Schoaf. I appreciate their time so much. And their insights as only they can give. And that's all we got. Please check out combatinsiders.com and knucklepedia.com for everything bare knuckle. And I'm Joshua Furs. And that's it. We out.
Peace, love, chicken grease.